Welcome to AFC. May I take your order?
AFC?
Yes, ma'am. AFC.
What's that?
It's air fried chicken.
Is it any good?
Yes. Yes, it is. So the first step is going to be the marinade. It's going to have to marinate for, it says 1 hour up to 24 hours. Marinade is, we do it in a plastic bag, and it's going to be in a bowl, so in case it leaks in the fridge, it doesn't get all over the fridge. We are doing, the recipe calls for 2 pounds of chicken. This is almost 6 pounds of chicken, so I'm going to triple everything in the recipe. It calls for 1 cup of buttermilk, so I'm doing 3. This was a quart, but I already took a cup out for another recipe we're doing, so that's 3 cups of buttermilk.
And I have to watch him because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Most of the time.
I don't know what he's doing, so this ought to be good.
It calls for 1/4 cup of hot sauce.
Yay.
My dad's kind of a chicken, so I might stop at a half, I don't know. So I'll do, yeah, we'll do a half. And we're just using like a Frank's Red Hot. It's not Frank's, this is an Aldi brand, Berman's. It's actually, it's pretty good. I like it. And the seasonings that go in it.
And now, what are you doing, this one?
Yes.
Well then how come, okay, never mind. You put 3/4 in because you're doing 3.
Yep. 1 teaspoon, so it'll be 1 tablespoon of paprika. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon, gonna be 1 tablespoon of. I should have taken the shaker off, would have gone faster, but that's alright.
We got all day.
Well, I don't want to make people sit here and watch me
Watch you shake.
shake garlic all day. Garlic powder. It's 2 teaspoons salt divided. We only put 1 teaspoon into the marinade for each 2 pounds, so it'll be 1 tablespoon of salt. And it calls for 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper for the whole recipe, but in the marinade it's only 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. So it'll be 1.5 teaspoons or 1/2 tablespoon. For 3. Give it a mix. Want a drink?
No, thank you.
Okay. It's like a cayenne pepper buttermilk shake.
Are you cute with the salt?
No, you need that for the other recipe.
Oh yeah.
So, and then it's going to be just your 2 pounds of chicken. We're using all thighs in this one because my dad likes dark meat. I like dark meat.
I like white meat.
She doesn't like chicken, so she doesn't get a vote. And it's barely going to fit all 6 pounds of chicken in here. Start to seal. And squeeze out the air. Come on, get in that chicken. Get down to the bottom there. There we go. And just as long as all the chicken is covered with marinade, you're good to go. And that's just going to go in the fridge and marinate for, it's almost 1 o'clock here. We're probably not going to start cooking until almost 5 o'clock, so it's going to marinate for close to 4 hours for us. But once it's marinated, we'll show you what to do when we get there. Alright, I've been marinating for 4 hours in the buttermilk and spices. It's time to continue. I've drained the chicken into this colander and put it over a bowl so it can drip out. For the batter, remember I'm doing 6 pounds of chicken. This recipe calls for 2 pounds, so I'm tripling it. It calls for 1 cup of flour. I've got 3 cups. And 1/2 cup of cornstarch. So I'm doing 1.5 cups. Calls for 1 teaspoon of salt. The remaining of the salt that's on the recipe list. So 1 teaspoon times 3 is going to be 1 tablespoon. And another tablespoon of, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, so it'll be 1 tablespoon. And mix that up. Now, there's not a whole lot going into the flour breading because a lot of the seasoning and spices is already in the marinade, and that's coating the chicken already. So you don't have to go overboard with any seasoning in the flour and the cornstarch. Cornstarch, I guess, just it helps make it a little more crisp, a little more crunchy. And we will find out. So, wet hand, dry hand. You want to keep one hand wet, one hand dry, otherwise you'll end up with 2 club hands, and that's no bueno. You can do this in a bag, just a Walmart bag or a Ziploc bag, or you can do it in a bowl. I'm doing it in a bowl. Normally I would do it in a Walmart bag, but with COVID going around, I don't know if that's such a smart idea, putting food in a bag that somebody else has handled and then cooking out of it. I don't know. So I'm gonna pat the flour in there and set it on a rack for a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get all my chicken coated before I preheat the air fryer, because I want to get the air fryer, or I want to get the coating here to stick a little bit, to set, and to soak into the buttermilk. It'll help it adhere to the chicken better during the cooking process. At least it does with deep fryer chicken, so I'm hoping it'll do the same thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and get all my chicken done this way, and we'll resume the video when I'm there and have the air fryer preheated. Alright, chicken is all coated. I'm going to sit here to crust up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start the air fryer. Now this is all new to us. My mom has not had this air fryer long. We're still trying to figure it out. So, it's a Kalorik MAXX. We're pretty happy with it. Let's see, air fry, yes. Air frying, it's going to be 15 minutes at 375. And I'm going to have to reset that timer when it gets preheated. And that's it to get it started. So we're going to, once this preheats, I'm going to go ahead and get this on the tray and get it in the oven. Alright, the air fryer has come up to temp. So I'm going to spray down the basket with a little bit of cooking spray. You notice I'm doing it over a cutting board, that way I don't spray cooking spray everywhere in my mom's kitchen.
Just half of it.
Well, she's already mad because I got coffee cake batter on the cupboard. So
I cleaned it up. I didn't yell.
Alright, so the chicken here is, there's 3 bigger pieces, so I'm going to cook those 3 together. These 3 are kind of a medium, about the same size, and those 3 are a little bit smaller, so I'm going to try to cook them by size so they cook evenly. The cooking spray is going to help brown because it's vegetable oil, and oil helps, is what actually makes it fry. Even though it's in an air fryer, you're not dropping the whole thing in oil, you're just putting oil on it, so that should make it crispy. And into the air fryer. Now, her air fryer, the Kalorik MAXX, so far I like it.
So far, it's real good for poppers.
Yeah, she likes making
onion rings.
She likes making the snackers, the sides. It's got right on the door. It's got writing on there, and there's different levels to put your racks. And it'll tell you the top, very top level is if you're dehydrating. Second one is if you're doing fast air frying, like you want to get something really brown and crisp, or browning, grilling, or steaks. That would go on the second lowest one. Right in the middle is your air fryer. So I got the chicken in the middle because this can be a 375 for half an hour, so that should be the regular air fry. Then there's a rotisserie slot. Yes, it has a rotisserie. It's got that's the handle, but it's got the spikes and the rod for the rotisserie. And then you got the next bottom is where you're going to bake. You can do your pizzas, a warming, defrost, doing a roast, or toasting, and then the bottom level is if you're proofing stuff like bread dough. So it's got all these different levels, and it tells you right on there what level to put it in, so it kind of makes it foolproof. You go through and you can select all your different settings. Up here is air fry, one for the chicken, that one makes the rotisserie going on. Warming something up, there's a rib setting, shrimp, steak, wings, bacon, fish, corn, fries, dehydrate, defrost, veggies, bake, broil, pastry, pizza, proof, roast, and toast. and it's got a light. I mean, I like it. There's a lot of features on it. We're gonna be playing with it a little bit more, so you'll see a few air fryer recipes here and there. But I really want to see if this chicken does turn out crisp and as good as deep fried chicken or pan fried chicken, because my dad really loves chicken. I love chicken. My girlfriend, she likes fried chicken. My mom doesn't like chicken.
But I eat it.
She'll eat it. She won't complain. So this will be, you know, something. If it turns out good and everybody likes it enough, we're gonna be doing this quite a bit as far as the chicken goes, I think. I'm almost sold on buying one of these for myself. So this is not a product endorsement. We're still playing with it. I'm not telling you to go out and buy one yet. If we use it some more and really like it, I'll try to get a link set up where you can buy this through somebody and get a discount. We'll see. But I really like it so far, and we're just gonna keep playing this. So 15 minutes from now, about 13 minutes left, we're gonna come back, we're gonna flip them over, we're gonna spray the other side, and bake it for another 15 minutes, and hopefully test it with the other of my mother's investments is a thermal pen. This is the best instant reading thermometer I've ever used. I've used a lot, I've broken a lot. This one here is fantastic. So I'll never get an endorsement from thermal pen, I don't think. So if you can afford one, get one. They're awesome. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the next part. Good timing. All right, that is the air fryer going off. I'm gonna go ahead and reset it. Air fry. Still for 375. Guess I got another half to go yet. So pull this side out. Give them a flip. They don't look too bad. Spray the other side with some flour. Cooking oil. Oh, it's just a little dry spot over there. If you see any more spots that have a little bit of flour on them that didn't get, they're still raw, you can give them a little bit extra of the cooking spray. Piece off right there. And back in for another 15 minutes. Flour in there. Alright, back in for 15 more minutes, and hopefully it'll be done. Alright, that was the final 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and get a temp. Well over 165. Front. Alright. Chicken is definitely done. It didn't come out too bad. It looks like fried chicken. I think that's a pass.
Just shut your doors, keep your heat in.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Come on.
Now you gotta wait for the potatoes. We didn't think you'd be up quite so early. Well, I said you might be up at that 3.
Yeah, I think that's a pass. I think that looks like fried chicken. Gotta get to the taste test portion of it, which will be here in a few minutes, because I need to reload for my next batch. And see if I can fine tune it a little bit and get a little more even color on here. And we will come back for the taste test when I'm done. Alright, second batch of chicken is done. My mom and dad are eating the first batch. They both like it. My dad likes it. Wasn't too hot on the sauce. But that's what the second batch looks like. A bit of burn on the bottom. And let's see if I can take a bite without burning my mouth too bad here. Yeah. That's good. That's really good, Ma.
Nice and juicy on the inside.
Yeah, we can keep using your air fryer. I'm not disappointed. Woo. Got a fork. I'm burning my mouth, I'm burning my fingers. The breading is, it almost has the consistency of of KFC's original recipe. It almost has that consistency. It's not crispy like the extra crispy. It's got that softer texture to it. Chicken is very tender. Only marinated for 4 hours, so a lot of the hot sauce that got poured in there, that's a lot of hot sauce. My dad can't taste it. It didn't marinate into the chicken too much, so we can either put more in for a shorter marinade or let it marinate longer and it'll soak in. But I think that this is the Kalorik MAXX. It worked good for this. I'm totally impressed with it. So for air frying chicken, I'll give it a thumbs up for sure. We're going to try a couple more of these Kalorik MAXX recipes in the future. And now, the one thing that I will admit, if you're just doing 4 pieces of chicken in the Kalorik MAXX, fine. We had 10 pieces of chicken, so that's going to be a batch of 4 and 2 batches of 3. It's going to use more energy because I'm cooking over an hour and a half. I'm doing 3 batches. It would have been a lot faster. Follow the same recipe, but just baking it off in the oven, because you can do the whole batch on one cookie sheet. But we were trying it to see if we could fine tune the recipe and get it to work, which it did. So if you're just doing a small batch, air frying chicken, fantastic. Give this video a thumbs up as I give it a thumbs up for the food. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification buttons down in the corner if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, thank you for watching.